Behold, trapped in a hellscape of their own invention, socially unaware old white men bound by the pretense of being fake lawyers yet knowing no law, no exquisite Latin terminology, they are inexplicably compelled to quibble over minutia, squabble over triflings, and bicker like those who value their backyards far too highly without even knowing the difference between an easement and an alleyway. At this very moment, you have entered the heart of the Law Offices of Quibble, Squabble and Bicker. Let's get started.
Welcome to another episode of the Law Offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker on this October 6th, 2021. And we have a very special guest today. His name is Billy Skeels. He is an Army veteran and also a woodcarver, truck driver, and he is also apparently
don't forget that.
Also a masturbator. Well, I'm glad you added that. And he may or may not stick around when later on we deal with our client for today. Our client happens to be Evacuate Your Mind, and we'll talk about that about halfway through the show.
Check.
But right now we've got Billy Skeels on, who is a man of all trades, perhaps, and perhaps none. I'm not really sure. But he did tell me at one point that he carves the heads of or he does carvings of like Spider-Man and other things. So we actually connected via TikTok, which is kind of why I'm doing like the live thing on TikTok today, is to give a recognition to that. So Billy, why don't you tell us why you wanted to come on our show? Because I'm still not quite sure what caused you to be interested in this.
So the whole thing with TikTok kind of started. I have 4 boys. And, it just seems like everybody's always either fucking looking at me or talking about me. So
you're talking about in general, outside of TikTok? So in general, in life, people are looking at you and talking about you.
Yeah, this was before TikTok. So, I started TikTok beginning of June, I think, or something. My one son just kept bugging me about starting it because we have a YouTube channel and so I would make YouTube videos.
What's the name of your channel?
So it's Billy Skeels. If you search Billy Skeels on YouTube or TikTok, then you'll find me. It used to be a house full of boys, and it's kind of like finding you guys. A law offices. It's really hard to find you guys on the internet, and it was hard to find a house full of boys. So I changed it just to my name, so that I'd be easier to find.
Just a quick comment from TikTok. Yeah. They said that you're only an apprentice baiter. You have not applied for your union master status. So
I don't know what that means.
Well, TikTok is. You said you were a masturbator, and they said that you were merely an apprentice. So here we go. We've got tons from TikTok coming.
I'm an apprentice of many, but master of none.
I started Googling a house full of boys, and I got some questionable search results. I'm not sure.
Yeah. You'll get a bunch of cartoons, there's cartoons and stuff up. Like I said, I changed it all to from a house full of boys to my name, Billy Skeels.
Like the dark web.
It would be like totally about sodomites or something.
But I just kind of said one day, like I said, everybody was, but I love baseball, and that's kind of, I just want to get my name out there and start coaching baseball is really what I want to do.
You want to
Billy,
coach
what are people saying about you when everyone's talking about you? Are they saying good things?
Not normally.
He doesn't know what they're saying, Greg. That's what the song says.
Yeah. Well, no, I teach my kids, don't believe anything you hear and only half of what you see. So it's kind of
if they were to believe that, then they shouldn't believe that statement. You've created a paradox off the bat.
Well, you're exactly right. Because you shouldn't believe everything you see. That's for sure. You see a drag queen, you don't know if that's a woman or a man necessarily. You know what I'm saying? So
I do.
You shouldn't believe you only should believe half of what you see.
Wait, should you believe half or like a half of a half?
Well, I'm currently identifying as a squid, so does anyone, you see me, but do you really see me?
I thought you were a squid, actually. I thought, why is a squid on our show?
He is in full squid garb.
What happened to Brendan?
Head.
Brendan's gone.
Brendan is no longer with us. It's merely Squid Boy.
Hail Hydra.
Squidsworth.
That is something I don't understand nowadays. People, I heard somebody introduce themselves the other day, and then they said something about their pronouns. Like, I don't understand what all that means. So
You don't know what
you're
a pronoun
identifying
is?
as squid, as
Oh.
well. All right, smart ass. But I don't.
Oh,
but
welcome to the show, Billy. He's a smart
I know,
ass.
right? I know, but I don't know what. I mean, have you
You
ever
should watch
introduced you
Schoolhouse
guys
Rock.
yourselves something like that? Have you ever said, "Hey, my name is,"
No, I live in Florida.
Nobody
Genders
does that
down
shit.
here are optional.
Jen?
In Florida, they go by either squid or octopus as their pronoun.
Squid, octopus, or crocodile. Don't
Or
forget
crocodile,
or
sorry.
alligators.
Yeah.
You know,
And dolphin.
whatever.
If you live near
Dolphin.
the bay.
I think Schoolhouse Rock could clear up what pronouns are for us.
It's and, but, and or are your pronouns, Greg.
No, those are
Those
conjunctions.
aren't pronouns. Those are conjunctions.
That's the whole joke, for crying out loud.
Oh, the joke. Right.
Yeah,
You
Okay.
gotta
I-
explain
I
the
work
joke.
on
It's
it.
not funny anymore, though.
No one said that anything I have ever said is funny.
No, you've said funny things.
How have you said it, Greg? I guess you just did. So I'm lying,
Yeah.
apparently.
I
So-
try to be funny all the time, but I'm really bad at it.
Oh, I think you're great.
Yeah.
So far, you're doing fine. I do have a question as to why your shirt isn't off, though, Billy, because most of your
Why do you
TikTok
keep-
videos, he does.
What?
There
Why
we
did
go.
Look at that. He's cut.
Why did you want him to take off his
Hey,
shirt
look,
so
I just
bad?
got
I
my
was
last
expecting it, though.
You see
Oh,
how I
he's
got
got a
my-
tattoo on his back,
I got
too.
my last name on my back.
Is that
So
so
I
you
never-
don't
so I
forget
never
it? Or
forget
so,
it. Yep,
so
I knew
other
you were gonna-
people
How
won't
did I-
forget it.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, so I don't
Yeah.
forget it.
I have tattoos of left and right on my feet. So
I got a tattoo, but it's hard to show.
And then I got Mighty Mouse.
I got.
Oh, I
otters.
like that. That's a good
He's-
tattoo.
He's got like deformed eggs on his arm, is what
That's
Brendan
cool.
has.
Yeah, I've got weasels.
It's
Because
a
on the
weasel tattoo.
weekends, I identify as a weasel.
Now, Billy had sent us a bio of lots of really interesting things, and I had a couple questions about it. So, at some point, your parents owned a restaurant called the Village Skillet,
The Village Skillet, yeah.
and you
Yeah.
sent that to me. What was there anything in particular about the Village Skillet that you wanted to talk about?
No, just the name. I mean, anybody
Like, were you
that's ever heard
conceived
the
in a
name-
skillet?
No, I wasn't. I was conceived in Baltimore.
Oh,
actually.
I was
Oh,
actually in Baltimore just 2 days ago,
So
even though I'm in
um,
Oregon right now.
but
Baltimore.
Yeah.
but the most, like you talk about my bio and owning the restaurant, like we just had really bad luck with fires and stuff like that. Maybe that's why I talked about it, because like when the restaurant burnt down, that was like the first fire.
Oh, the
And
restaurant
then-
burned down. Oh, you didn't say that the restaurant
then-
burned down.
so-
You just talked
so
about
then-
you're following 3 houses burning down.
And then my house, and then so freshman year we moved into a brand new house, and the fire department was on the street next door, but our street was so new they didn't know where we were, and our house burnt down all the way down, like nothing left.
Do you think God
Then-
was punishing you for masturbating so much? Like
Yeah,
Job?
I was a freshman. I hadn't started. I tried a lot, but I hadn't actually gone yet. I remember freshman year, that was like, you try. You're like, what the hell is wrong with me? I got hair, but nothing's coming out. And then finally, one day, it's just.
Thank you, Greg, for bringing that back up.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then, and then junior year, my buddy, he breaks into my house because we always used to just get really stoned and eat fried food a lot. So he broke into my house, went upstairs, turned on the fryer, and fell asleep next to
In the
it.
fryer.
Not in the fryer.
Wait, so your
Dave-
friend hold on a
Dave
second.
Street, if you're out there,
Your friend breaks into your house and starts your fryer?
starts my because
And then
that's
he
what we
falls
used to do.
asleep.
We would
You'd
come
break
home
into
from-
each other's houses and start your fryers?
I'm getting triggered. I lost a whole lot of relatives to calamari. This is really upsetting to me.
That's what it was, shrimp too.
Oh no, it's seafood. Oh.
Yeah, shrimp
But-
is in calamari, though.
But
Just so
you know, because we owned a restaurant, and so like we would have fried like food in our freezer. That's just what we made. I mean, in high school,
You'd have fried food in your freezer before you fried it or after you fried it?
yes.
So it's
Do I
not
really
fried
have-
food
do
if
I-
it's in your freezer.
I mean, do I have to explain everything to you like that?
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
smart.
only if,
you-
You're
only
smarter than I
if what
know.
you're saying doesn't
I
make
know you
sense.
tried to-
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
I'm
totally
trying to
makes
get
sense.
things sequential because sometimes things don't add up to me.
There's
So if you're
fried
saying
food in your freezer before you fry them, Matt.
They're
and then we put it-
it's
Well, I know,
obviously
but I wanted to
pre-
confirm though that it was
it's
fried before it went in the
pre-fried
freezer.
Columbo.
He
It's
tries to
pre-fried
confuse me.
food in his freezer.
It's
Yeah.
That you didn't warm
pre-fried,
up.
not fried though.
See, if your
Well, it
common
was
sense level
pre-fried
is
before it was frozen.
I wish I could put my cigarette
75%
out
of us
that
got
guy
it.
right now. I just wish I could just put this
3
in
out
your
of 4
cheek.
of us got it.
Right.
We just got one that didn't get it.
I'm wearing glasses, Greg. Your cigarette will not go through my
Put it in your
glasses
cheek,
to
at
burn
least.
my eyes.
Right in
Well,
his
you could do
Okay,
that.
let's get back
Greg.
to the fryer. So you're
Okay, so he breaks.
friend
So
broke in your
Dave-
house.
So the friend
David
breaks in
Street.
the house.
David Street out there is I love the kid to death, but anyway, then he passes out. Like, so he turns the fryer on, passes out,
Yeah.
and then the cops had to carry him out because the firemen and everybody's trying to wake him up as the fire's going right behind him, and he's out.
So,
Like,
Wow.
he turns the fryer on, falls asleep, is it the kitchen that went on fire or what got on fire?
yeah, he turns it on fucking high. So then it starts boiling because it's not a fryer. At that time, we didn't there wasn't fryers. Like
It was just a pot with
it was
oil
a
in
pot
it.
with oil in it. Yeah.
Well, that's not a fryer. That's a pot
Well,
with oil.
Yeah. You're
When
right.
it fries, it can fry.
Right.
I mean, I'm not mad, but technically that's a whole
I'm not
different kettle
mad.
of
yeah,
fish.
yeah. It's
No.
much more dangerous. Much
Kettle
more
of
dangerous.
squid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
listen
stupid.
to
I
the
would never-
squid. I know frying.
I don't. Yeah. I mean, we don't cook like that anymore. You know.
Remember the
All right, so he didn't turn on your fryer.
He turned on
He turned on your stove.
a stove with oil on
And,
it.
and the
Yes.
stove had oil, but I'm assuming there's like a pot on the stove?
Yeah.
or is just
yeah.
oil
And so-
on the stove?
No,
Okay,
And we established
So
that,
if you-
Matt. Keep up,
my-
would you?
I'm trying to. I'm very confused.
my mom's whole arm. 'cause
Greg
she
is
takes-
triggering me
My
because
mom
he's lighting
goes,
oil on
grabs
fire.
the pan and tries to run it out because the pan's fucking flaming, you know. And so
Flaming.
she's running it out the door, and she had burns all up and down her arm from the oil. But she
Now,
got
no,
it out
wait,
the
time
door.
out, time out.
But she's running out the door with the pan of oil, and it's fucking like so. It's fucking starts all like so. It goes from the kitchen all the way out the door, and she like spread the fire all the way out the fucking door.
But
Your mother
but
made the
Steve-
fire worse.
But
Well, I
Steve,
mean, yes.
wait a minute. Steve miraculously laying on the ground is not harmed
He's
by
not on the
anything.
ground. He's on the couch. So
Oh,
it's
what
the
an
kitchen-
asshole!
Because it's all open, you know. So we got the kitchen here, and then we got the little dining room, and then the
Uh-huh.
living room's here. So it's kind of, but he's over here in the living room. in the
Was he
kitchen.
drunk or something? Why?
No,
Yeah,
First of all,
well,
why did he?
no, he
No,
was just
he was
really
sober.
tired.
I just
Who
said that
knows?
we came home from parties. Yeah, it was high school, so we would just get fucking obliterated, like stupid. I don't even drink anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that smart actually,
No,
but
it's- no.
certainly stupid.
Yeah.
But all right, so the guy comes in, he turns on a pot of oil for no real reason than
No, he
just
was
to turn on.
obviously going to make some
Because
food.
he's hungry.
Yeah, he had the munchies.
But you
He wanted
got to
some
think.
food.
Okay, what is the most? How do you predict somebody's future actions? You guys know? How do I?
How to predict
Runes?
somebody's future crystal ball, of course.
Mystic runes,
No.
Yeah.
tarot.
Their past
Sage.
actions. Their
In your-
previous actions.
How to predict past actions?
No, how to predict.
That's called a book.
What
You
the
predict
hell
how
are you
somebody's
talking
going to
about?
act in a situation by how they've acted previously.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So-
Right.
So-
So,
so
I'm never
think-
having Steve come over to my house.
So go
No,
in his-
don't let Steve in your house.
He's got the 16-year-old man, boy brain.
Yeah.
He's been drinking. He says, "All right, we always go over to Billy's house and eat food after parties every single night. We do this 3 times a week. I'm gonna do it tonight." And that's what he did, but he did it by himself and
Right.
passed out.
It was a pattern.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, it's obviously. But,
TikTok
I mean,
says
like,
that's a $15,000 insurance claim.
So my question is, after this whole, shenanigan, what conversation did you have with this guy? Like, dude, what
Yeah,
possessed
he
you to come
burns
up?
the hell out of your mother, burns your house down.
Well, okay, so I mean, me now, I would totally, act differently because I'm
But
all
back-
about.
but
Like, I
back-
don't try to change people. Like, if people want to be a certain way, like, and
If they want to burn your house down, let them.
Well, if he just wants to, he knew he messed up. I mean,
Yeah,
there's no
that's
point.
good.
In,
That's
there's
good.
no. There's no point in rubbing it in. I mean, he was my friend. Like, I was with him all the time. I didn't want to lose that friendship.
Because you wanted him to burn other things down.
No,
later.
Yeah.
but
this is more more important things, you know, than that house. I mean, I wish I still had his friendship. I mean, you know.
Are you and Steve not close anymore?
It's Dave. He just
Dave. Sorry, I kept calling him Steve. Dave.
I thought he was Steve because you kept calling him Steve, but it's named Dave.
I have
Dave,
Steve,
everybody.
Steve Niederreiter. He's another friend. He's yeah. I mean, he was around that time, but.
And he burned down your garage.
No. Steve burned down Dave's house in retribution. He went over.
Guys, okay, I have a friend,
That's a good
Zach
friend.
Breeze, that he left my whole roof open and it got waterlogged and like we were replacing the roof.
Thank you for explaining that.
Fire and water.
And I let and I was a dumbass and went on vacation that was already planned. Anyway, he was.
Well, it's good that you had to plan vacation because unplanned vacations are just weird.
He was supposed to work on it, and he left the whole roof open, and it rained really bad.
So this guy was working on your roof, and he didn't cover the roof when there was rain coming.
Yes, yeah, and we had taken off all the.
Where was he when your house was on fire? Because combined, the roof being open could have put out the fire.
Billy, I gotta say, you gotta choose your friends better. You got some bad friends.
I don't have any friends anymore.
Well, those friends were pretty bad. I mean, they were like frenemies.
Well, wait a minute. So Dave was the one that burned the house down, and Steve was the one that flooded it.
Yeah,
Zach is the one that flooded it.
Zach
flooded it.
Oh, I didn't mean. Okay, Zach is new. Is a new character in the story.
In the drama.
God,
did you have a friend who like put your house in front of a mudslide, like all the elements, the 4 elements? Every friend used a different element to destroy your house.
Our powers combined. I am Captain Planet.
There's a tornado.
So later on in your bio, it also talks about how you stepped on a basketball and broke your ankle. Now, I have to say, it's a little tricky stepping on a basketball because you have to lift your foot up a little bit of a distance, more so than your normal walking, unless you're into like frog marching or something that
if
causes
you're playing
your feet to get
basketball, though, that can happen. You're running for the basketball and you misstep.
Well, I was at the Y.
You stepped on an actual basketball, Greg?
I didn't break my ankle, but sometimes I was chasing it and I like missteps. I kind of stumbled and.
Onto the basketball, though.
I technically stepped on a soccer ball when I was playing soccer once because I was, like he was saying, I was like running and I was high stepping and somebody kicked the ball and it hit my foot and
All right, well, I can see that with a soccer ball because it's a foot playing sport.
It happens though.
Yeah,
with a soccer ball.
Basketball can happen too.
I can see. All right, I can see it happening now. I've had it explained. Sorry.
Have you ever been to the YMCA or like a gym where there's a lot of people playing on different hoops?
I don't know if you've noticed, Matt doesn't go to the gym a lot.
Okay, well, like
I'm not taking my shirt off to prove it either.
Zinga.
So I was running for the ball and I stepped on a different ball, not the one I was running for, but a different one.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah.
And
a loose
so
ball.
I have no cartilage in my ankles and in my feet. They don't move. I walk weird and it's just. Anyway, I didn't find out until I was almost 30 that I had this. But there's days I can't walk. Like I have to crawl. Like I was trying to get like this area ready yesterday for this podcast. And like, when I woke up this morning, I could hardly walk.
You've got a lot of stuff going on in the background there. You've got for your banner of House Full of Boys, lots of T-shirts up there.
So, those are all T-shirts I've made.
Did you make those?
Yeah, I made all these, but this is probably my favorite one though. Alrighty.
What does that say?
I don't know.
It says
I don't know. Let's.
Then.
Alrighty
then.
Is that like your favorite saying or something?
No, but you guys have never seen when he's works for the Miami Dolphins.
I can't see the picture. That's the problem.
It's
who is it?
It's somebody with a lightsaber. It looks like.
Speak, Billy. Speak.
It's Ace Ventura. I got
Ventura.
it.
Oh, Ace Ventura.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yes, I've seen Ace Ventura, but it's hard to know that if you can't see the picture.
Yeah, my bad.
But that's your favorite. So do you like model your life after Ace Ventura, the pet detective? Do you go out solving crimes involving animals?
No. This is my son. He's on a.
Your son is a box?
Yes.
Oh.
No, but this is
Wow.
this
This
like
is
a-
my
He's
nephew.
a diaper model. That's very nice.
My
Yeah,
nephew is a
well,
computer mouse.
Oh, shut
Here's
up.
my grandfather.
Billy, what part of the country are you in?
I'm in Ohio,
Ohio.
Which part of Ohio?
Toledo.
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 We've dealt with a number of people from Ohio on our show. It's happened
Yeah.
a few
Toledo,
times.
though.
The White Rhino
that-
was from, was he from Cleveland?
I think it might have been Columbus.
Columbus? Okay.
Right.
Ohio,
And then
we
there was
do
that other
produce
guy.
the best. We do definitely produce the best.
I just
mean,
want to say for my Portland people, Ohio and Florida, we're pretty close. Ohio is pretty much the Midwest Florida. I mean, I'm just going to be honest.
That's where
absolutely.
Ohio Man lives. I think
Yeah.
Billy might be Ohio Man, actually.
And then I have
Or at least
my
his friends
20-year
are.
reunion.
Ohio Man burns down house.
Yeah.
Ohio Man forgets to put the roof back on.
I made that thing for our 20-year reunion this year. Can you guys see it?
It says SV200.
That,
Your bicentennial?
Uh-oh, he's taking the headphones off. He won't be able to hear anything we say. All right, first of all, it looks like he's Irish. He's got an Irish shirt on. It says he's a coach. So he's related to Brendan in some way.
Yes,
That's
we're all-
SV 2001.
we're
That's
all
a
related.
giant rock or something. Or was that a wood carving that had
Yeah,
your number on it? Is that something
it's a
that you
piece of
created?
wood. It's a
Man, it's like a
it's a
tree
big-
stump.
Yeah, it's a tree. That's exactly what it is. But this
Ah.
is for our 20-year reunion.
Thundercats.
We're all gonna sign it. Cougars, Southview Cougars.
Cougars. Okay.
But
Not
we're all gonna-
Thunder
Thundercats.
Cougars.
We have our 20-year reunion.
Thunder
this year,
Cougars.
So I'm gonna take that and have everybody.
Cougars.
So you graduated high school in 2001. Man, I feel
2001.
old.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that. For just
Can I just interject, guys?
No,
just-
don't, Greg.
Are
You can't.
squids that wall-wide? Like, Brendan, your squid looks very wall-wide. Does squids look that googly, off-center their eyes?
you know, that's racist, and I'm not even going to justify. I'm not even going to talk about.
Greg
what
with
you're
his
saying.
anti-squid rhetoric
It's
coming out once again.
specious. It's not
Oh.
racist, it's specious.
Oh, are all white people blah blah, or African Americans are
Yes,
all good at
all
basketball?
white people are blah blah.
And
Yeah.
squid's eyes are googly. Oh, jeez.
So,
It looks-
so-
Hey, can I bring? I wanted to bring something up though.
yes, that's why you're here. Bring up whatever the hell you want.
So, why my friend with the squid hat on likes to use a certain R word, and I
Oh.
wanted to
Oh,
talk about
Finally,
how that
someone
is
takes him to
totally-
task.
totally
Oh, is
wrong.
this why?
Um,
Is this why he's on the show? This is
No,
a-
I
No,
didn't.
no,
I did
no,
not
no.
even know
Hey,
that this was
hey,
going to
you
be
know what,
brought
guys,
up.
though?
Actually.
It's a
Like
ringer.
I started
That
talking
part
to
of
him in
ringer
like
on.
June, and then you guys booked me for a day, and then had to change it. So yeah, no, that's not why I'm on here. But
No,
I heard you
I-
guys
it's-
talking about it the other day,
Sure.
and it's just I used to use it like it was like I used gay.
candy?
Like
Yeah.
you use gay and retard nonstop in the at that time. I mean, it was-
Nonstop, like no other words, just those
was-
two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. I mean,
Okay.
like, or fuck. Yeah,
No, I
you know,
still
like-
use. Okay.
but that's just that's how I used to talk, and then I realized, and I got told by multiple handicapped people that it really offended them. Now I say I don't know what it feels like to be offended. I've never been offended a day in my life. What
Yeah.
you say may piss me off, but being offended is a
Mhm.
choice. You choose. I want to be offended. That's the only reason why anybody gets offended is because they
Sure.
want to be. They choose to be offended.
Well, same
So-
with thing with being pissed off though. That's also a choice.
Yeah.
Well, if you're mad for more than 5 minutes, then you're choosing to be. That's what I tell my kids. If you're mad about something
that's-
for more than
5
minutes,
minutes
you're
is an
choosing.
interesting
Because
arbitrary
I'll
time
get
period,
pi-
but
I'll
okay.
get pissed
Nah,
off.
but you get triggered by something and you're just temporarily upset. But if you decide that you're going to be pissed off about that all day long,
Yeah.
then yeah, you're choosing that. No, that's
Well, then
solid.
being offended takes the same criteria as well, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you could be
choose to
offended
yeah.
instantly and then go, okay.
Yeah.
But so
What if
people
a
are
shark
like-
killed my girlfriend? Couldn't
A
I
shark?
be mad at the shark for longer than a day?
Well,
Oh,
buddy, you can
I'm
be
not
mad
choosing.
at that's your choice. I mean, like
Is it?
you can choose.
Yes.
That's you.
Here he goes.
You can do
Here he
whatever you
goes.
want to
Greg
do.
is exposing how anti-sea life he is in what he just said.
You fucking underwater people things. you people, you things, you
The thing-
underwater
yeah,
creatures.
I
don't
have to
even have a
comment on Greg's facial hair today. Today you came out of looking like some cavalier from the 1700s with the facial hair you have today, Greg.
Forsooth.
All right, so
Pull out your rapier and duel, damn it, duel.
stop. No, Billy wanted to say something, I think,
Yes.
directly to the squid. So I'm
Yes.
listening.
Oh, no.
It's a
I just-
squidjucation going on.
You know, I don't. I just wanted to give you my opinion. That's because you're a grown ass man. I'm not going to tell you how to act.
No, I'm
or how
not.
to be.
I'm immature as shit. But
No,
But
I
his
know that
ass
you
is
have,
very
you have
grown.
other
He's a
people in
grown-ass
your life
squid.
that like to tell you what to do. So that's not me. I just wanted to tell you that it is. You should take into consideration not to use it because
And why should he take into consideration not to use it, Billy?
because it's kind of like saying the N word.
right, but it's not.
It is.
It's not the
Retarded
same
is a
thing.
medical
Well,
condition.
It is
it's a
to
thing.
them. It is to special needs people.
Right, but Billy, I first of all, I totally accept what you're saying, and I've
Yeah,
listened
yeah.
to these two guys lecture me about it before, and I kind of just use it as a point, which is this: if there was my neighbor across the street, literally right now, his son, an adult son who still lives with him, is mentally handicapped. Still lives at home. He bags groceries at the local grocer that I go to all the time. I would never in a cajillion years refer to him as retarded or say it in front of him or say it to his parents. And if I said that to someone and they said, hey, you know, my son is mentally handicapped, I would be the most, So, but to start to say that unless you have a handicapped child, Billy, to say that the four grown men can't say the word retarded is a little bit nonsensical.
Yeah, no, I would never, and I would never tell you that you can't.
Right.
Okay, but my aunt is she's 50 years old and she is still taken care of by my 80-year-old grandmother. My grandmother has kept her and never, I mean, she went to high school, but other than that, she's never had a life. And she is severely handicapped.
She's well, I'm sorry for that. And I would never say that in front of somebody
and I get that.
But he'll say it behind their back at the drop of a pin.
Would say it to saying it to somebody is totally different. But because of your platform is all I'm saying. On this platform, I wouldn't want to use that word because you have a platform. It's just because there are people that look up to you and no matter
there's no one who looks up to me.
Well, I mean, but
Greg is currently looking up to you.
Well, okay, but you know what, Billy? All of that is well taken and understood.
And that was just my opinion.
And that's totally
all I'm
fine.
trying to do. And you know, I just the other day, one of the guys said to you, he said, you know, you should just consider that. And I just thought that's awesome because he's not telling you what to do, how to do it. He's just saying, hey. And I love disagreeing with somebody because it's okay to disagree. It's not like, let's be an adult and have an adult conversation. Please change my mind. If I'm wrong about something, tell me, please. But tell me respectfully because I want to be better. I want to get better.
This has been a public service announcement from Billy Skeels
to
help Brendan not to offend retarded people anymore.
The big difference here is that, you know, the N-word was always just a hateful, evil word. Mentally retarded was the common word. It's a kind word. It's just saying you're a little slow. You know.
Well, actually, Greg, I would say
saying
the N-word didn't start off being a hateful, evil word. It was merely an inability to pronounce the word Negro, and they southernized it to the word that it became, and then it became more of a hateful thing because it was then used as something to define somebody other than who they are, but as
those
based
people
upon the color
hated
of their
black
skin.
people, though they were enslaving them. So they
I don't think in the beginning they hated them.
Oh, I think they probably did.
I don't think it was a hate.
They enslaved them, Matt. They thought they weren't even human.
Well, you know, but they didn't think they were human. That's not hate, Greg. It's different. It changed to hate later.
Okay, what I wanted to say though, guys, if I just mentally retarded was the medical term. It's always going to become pejorative. Whatever word you come up with to say that. Handicapped. Some people say, "Don't call me handicapped. I'm handy able," or, you know, I mean, It's not a good
Or
thing.
if you're
to be
Greg, you're
making
able with your hand.
I'm very able with that. I'm good at that. But I'm just saying that's why I think it becomes a silly thing where every 10 years of my life, it's like, no, now there's a new word. Now they're special. Call them special.
So you've
That
got
became
issues that
pejorative.
5 times in your life things have changed because it's happened every 10
It's
years.
not an
You said.
issue. It's
So
just
you can't
like,
handle like
you
change
stop
every
giving me shit.
5
Stop giving me
times.
shit. Retarded
The
is
point,
a
the
kind
point
word. It's
that
not a
Matt
mean
is
word.
missing is that, Greg, that once we start redefining the English language and once we start deciding what words are good and what words are bad and who can say what and who can't, and every day you get a new definition of what is proper.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen every 10 years. It's happened every 6 months for the last 3 years, practically. The problem is we start to get a little bizarre. And I think more importantly, we start to get more divided. Now we're defined by words and not
Something
by
else to argue about. Yeah.
The only point I'm missing is the top of your hat, Brendan. And I would really like to see it if you could like lower your head down more, because I knew there was a point up there somewhere. If you're being a squid, there it is.
So,
That's
so
a
you know what Matt's
So now I
saying is
finally
that-
got the point.
that
Anyway,
out of everything you just said, what he heard was, "I can't see his tip." That's all he heard.
Hey,
in that
hey,
whole thing.
Matt
Yeah,
always
hey,
wants to see a guy's tip.
Matt, after the show, if you want to see my tip, I'll show it to you.
it was the
On
point I
TikTok.
was missing, and I'm no longer missing the point. All right, so
But you
Can I
are
ask Billy a
missing. You are
question?
missing the tip, and
Can I ask
that's
Billy a
what we
question,
squids
guys?
do best.
So Billy, we haven't even asked Billy, like, Billy, what do you do? Like, I don't
what
even
do
know.
you do, Billy?
Like,
What is
how do
your
I-
line
what's
of
your
work?
thing?
How do I make money?
What is your job?
Yeah. Well, okay,
Sure.
so I delivered bread for 10 years when I get out of the military, and then I got my CDL and I started truck driving. Well, and then I had 4 boys, and
While driving the truck.
my boys were failing. They were not becoming who I needed them to become, what I wanted them to become, and so I quit and haven't worked for 3 years now. I am a disabled veteran, so
Were you disabled while you were in the military? Or did you get disabled later?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, I was in Iraq in 2003, and
Were you front lines in Iraq?
yeah, didn't do. I mean, I was front lines, but I didn't do a lot. I mean, we were up there. We were there 3 days before the war started.
Did you
So-
ever have to fire your weapon?
Did I?
Yes.
No, but
Okay.
I drove a truck. So did I hit people?
How old are your boys?
Did you hit people with your truck? You hit people
Yeah,
with, like
so
deliberately
that's-
hit people with your truck?
Well, okay. So at the beginning,
Okay, we'll go with hit people with my truck. I was going to talk about the
at
kids.
at the beginning, you ride through towns, and they have these $1 million highways, and then you look 100 feet off, and it's fucking shack houses. So, but you're driving, and so at first they would try to send people out to stop our trucks, and then they would bum rush us. Like if we stopped, 100 people would jump on our trucks and fucking take everything.
Oh, wow.
And so eventually we just had to go, and they started sending younger and younger kids out there. You know, you can't.
They were
You
sending women.
look in your mirror, and you hope you see. You know, you hope you can.
You
spot
mean-
that?
You mean they were sending younger and younger kids out to attack the trucks?
No, just to get us to stop.
Yeah. They would send out these
Like,
children.
so yeah, because we're driving, and then so there you don't see anybody, and all of a sudden a kid runs out, and he's like, "Well, you have to go." I mean, because you would stop, and you get all your shit stolen. So,
Right.
Um,
Wow, that's rough, man.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sorry for bringing
I'm
everybody
sorry,
down.
Billy. That sounds.
I was going to say thanks, Matt. So, how old are your kids, Billy? Let's talk
So
about kids for a second.
Charlie is my oldest, and he is 13.
Oh,
And
okay.
then, Harrison Dean is 11. Henry Macklin is 9, and Franklin Callahan is 6.
And are they all truck drivers like you?
Oh, I hope no. They're all baseball players. A lot better than I was too. So.
Nice.
So you're starting your own team. You planning on having like 5 more boys to have your own baseball team?
No. You gotta have sex to have. No.
And they all have to be similar ages. Matt doesn't understand sports. So I don't know if that's obvious.
Right? Yeah. But my kids are very good. A lot better than I was. There's a lot of things that I do with them that I do because it wasn't done with me. I graduated when I was 17. I didn't get my license till junior year. I fucking hated it. So all my kids, I started them when they were a year older. So all my kids will graduate at 19. They'll all get their license freshman year. Like shit like that, that I do with them, that I have done with them because I fucking hated it when I was growing up.
So all your kids are living with you, not with your mother?
So we still live together. We all live in the same house.
Do you live with your ex-wife?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How does that go?
It goes.
Okay. So, but I mean, obviously you guys get along well enough for you to live in the same house with her.
Yeah, well enough.
Or do you like spend most of your time talking to the fish behind you?
Yes, exactly. Well, I'm in the basement and she's upstairs. Like,
Are you
so,
are you allowed out of the basement?
Only on Saturdays.
And that's when they yell out, "Get the gimp!"
Yeah, right.
I've been married 30 years. I don't know. I work and live upstairs, and they're downstairs. It's not a bad deal.
And on Saturdays, he gets to come downstairs.
Saturdays, I get to come downstairs if I want.
Now with Saturdays and Sundays, I usually have 5 or 6 TVs set up now, and it's football.
Looking at Billy's hair, Greg, I think you should get that style as opposed to that tuft you have on the top of your head.
Whoa!
I see that.
His is all like braided.
I'm going
do that.
for the Viking. I started growing
fancy.
this out. Like I got the tattoos and started growing the hair out.
You want to grow like a Viking, but your shirt says that you're Irish.
Well, that's our baseball team. It's my coaching shirt. So I wanted to just, you see.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So are you the head coach of the baseball team?
No, I am an assistant coach. I'm the best. I am by far the best baseball coach for kids, hands down. And I would love anybody to come and test me on that.
Well, apparently you're the assistant coach.
I'm going to do it
best
right now.
No, but
coach.
that's not. But I mean, I don't have my own team for one of my kids because of financial reasons. That's the only reason why I haven't had them yet. I have my own team.
Buy better players.
It takes a lot, and you have to be financially sound to take other people's money. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You're not gonna,
I coached my kids in Little League football. I have 2 boys, 2 girls, 2 boys, and for the 2 gentlemen who, 1 doesn't have kids and 2, I guess, didn't have kids who played sports. It's political.
Oh,
like
who's my town?
Oh, who's the head coach has absolutely nothing to do with skill or knowledge of the game. It has to do with who's been there the longest, who knows who played in that league when they were a kid. Oh no, it's very, very political.
This is a travel team though, so it is a little bit different. But I 2 years ago they wouldn't give me a team, and I at the time I asked the guy who's in charge of everything. He said, "Billy, you coach one way and everybody else coaches another." And I said, "Dan, thank you." He said, "No, that's not a compliment." I said, yeah, it is, because there's only one winner. There's only one fucking champion. I don't want to be like all of you. I don't want to be like everybody else. And he hated the fact that I am not like everybody else. And it's taken a while.
What's the biggest difference between your coaching style and other people's coaching styles?
I don't know.
Because you're the best one. So what makes you better?
I can't. What makes me better?
Yeah.
That I am. I actually made a video about this. I'm a repeater. Like, I repeat things to the kids. I have never. There's never been anything in a game that I was coaching that wasn't my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is my fault. It's not the kid's fault. Like, I don't ever blame anything on them. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing, because
So in other words, you don't yell at them, that type of thing. And
well, I don't say that. I won't say that, because I am very loud. I'm very intense. Like, I can be, but I don't yell at them. I yell to them, though, and I make sure they know that.
how do they know the difference between yelling to and yelling at?
Well, because I let them know at the beginning of the season how I am, the type of person I am, and I tell them how tone is everything. Tone is everything. I could say, fuck you, and you can think I want to fuck you, or I will, or I hate you, depending on my tone.
Well, we lost Greg for a bit, and then we've lost Brendan. So I don't know what the hell is going on with my co-hosts.
I guess it's just the two good-looking guys.
Greg's got his audio off. There's his face, but his audio is off now.
You can hear me, right?
All right, now we can hear Brendan, but we can't see
I was
Brendan.
just quiet because I was listening to our guest. That's how it works.
It's
when
just
he
that
talks, I don't talk. No, I don't know what's wrong with my camera. Let me figure that out. Give me a second.
It's just that Greg disappeared and then you disappeared at the same time, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on here today.
We are actually having a secret meeting behind your back, Matt.
Yeah.
They're about to depose me.
Yeah.
They're going to take over.
I did want, but so how I found you, or you found me was through that Backstage app. And so I actually got a couple things. I'm going to be in a movie in January. We're shooting in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area.
Oh, okay. That's not too far from Toledo, right?
Yeah, and I don't know what it is or even who or all that.
So you don't know the movie that you're going to be in?
No, I don't. No, but I just know that I got a part in. I mean, I've never done anything like that.
Well, cool.
I have no idea how to.
Well, I've been meaning to mention for a while that we hit the halfway mark on the show, but that was about 15 minutes ago, and we kind of got a little sidetracked. But is there anything in particular that you want to promote? Anything about your YouTube channel that you want to tell people how to go to, or your TikTok videos? Or this is your opportunity to give web links and what have you to people.
So Billy Skeels, B as in boy, ILLY SKEELS, Billy Skeels. You Google that and my stuff will come up. TikTok. I do a lot of different things on TikTok. Not all my shirts or not all my videos are with my shirt off. But I try to give advice and try to, put myself in other people's shoes, and just try to be better and learn.
So basically just looking up Billy Skeels, SKEELS, that'll get everybody to your stuff, right?
Yes. Yep.
Cool.
Yes.
All right, well, that brings us, like I said, to the middle of the show. So we're going to now move on to our special food segment for
Brendan's
today.
trying to fix his walleyes. Do you notice that?
he's looking at us all. Anyway, so this is Food is for Eating.
Food is for eating, food is for eating, food is for eating with Waspy Soda Pop.
Hey there,
I
folks.
love this guy.
With summer rolling into fall, it's the perfect time for a refreshing non-alcoholic drink anyone can love. So today on Food is for Eating, we have a lemon lime spritzer with a zit twist. With your ingredients, you want to get 1 quart of sparkling water, 1/4 cup of fresh squeezed lime juice. You can use your hands, or you can use one of them squeezers, or you can put it under your foot, or if you got 2 really big butt cheeks, you can use those. You also want to get 1/4 cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice, so that's lime juice and lemon juice. That's how you get a lemon lime spritzer. I sometimes don't know what I'm saying. You want to get 1 tablespoon of coconut nectar or some other sweetener of choice like stevia, or hell, just get sugar. And also you want to grab 1 16-year-old boy who makes bad diet choices. It's best to get one that plays Dungeons and Dragons. These are very simple instructions though. In a large pitcher you add your sparkling water and your lemon and your lime juice as well as the coconut nectar. Then you want to grab that 16-year-old boy, the one who makes the bad diet choices, and you want to squeeze 2 or 3 large whiteheads into a teaspoon, and then you take the teaspoon, you tap that into the pitcher, you stir it, you serve it with ice, and you have the perfect lemon lime spritzer with a zit twist anyone will love. This has been Food is for Eating with Waspy Soda Pop. My pleasure.
A Zig twist.
Food is for eating.
A Zig
Food is
twist.
for eating. Food is for eating with Waspy Soda Pop.
Zig twist.
And
What the fuck were you thinking? And you're sober.
hey, by
You
the
came
way,
up with that. It's cold.
when you
totally
guys were
sober.
talking about bleaching your asshole, like I
What?
definitely pulled my pants down, looked in the mirror, and checked to see if I needed to do it. You guys, I don't know, a couple episodes ago, you guys talking about bleaching assholes. So you don't remember that, do you?
yeah, no, it's yeah.
I must have been really drunk that episode.
Well,
I don't
okay.
remember that.
And that's when he had his lemon lime spritzer with the.
Was that our client that week? Pinching assholes.
I don't think it. No, he said bleaching,
trial.
Greg.
Bleaching asshole.
You were
talking
actually, it
about-
was Greg was talking about it. Like it's a porn thing. Anyway,
Oh,
so
bleaching.
we're
I
we
thought you said
actually need to
bleaching.
be talking about our client. We're just going to give a lot of not much attention to today, apparently. So our client for today is evacuate your mind, and this is something that Greg has chosen because it's the forefront of his mind is evacuating it, I believe. So Greg, why don't you just go ahead and take the lead on this one because I don't know what we're talking about with evacuate.
You know what they say? Evacuate your mind, and your bleached anus will follow. Asshole will follow. But no, it's basically we wanted to talk about drugs today, and
You
the
say we, but
pros.
you wanted to talk about it.
I think we
You've
all
been wanting
do.
to talk about this for months.
Drugs, because drugs are a much maligned thing, I think, in our society. They're like, oh, the evil of drugs. But I think mankind, or I'm sorry, humankind,
What about
we
me?
need drugs. We need booze and drugs. We need to escape reality and evacuate your mind sometimes.
I don't
That's
know
why-
if they're against drug use. I think they're against drug abuse. In other words, the overuse of drugs that harms
just
people.
say no. Just say no. We grew up with, it's just like, yo, you take one joint, you'll be a junkie in a year. Like we grew up thinking like, if you just try drugs, you'll be a drug fiend. And
Well,
in a
with
year.
many people, that has turned out to be the case. People who don't have that kind of discipline, And
I've gotten a
If-
lot better with my drug use.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I just got fucked up. Now, just level.
well,
you
you
know?
said that you died or you OD'd on something, right,
So-
Billy?
Yeah. So, and the reason why I know the date was because my one son was born 3 days before this, and I'd been in a bad accident, and I was on MS Cotton, 60 milligrams of MS Cotton, and the fentanyl patch at the same time.
They gave you cotton, like cotton balls?
MS Cotton is morphine, is
Oh, it's morphine.
morphine pill.
it's like Oxycontin.
Oxycontin, yeah. I mean,
Cotton.
but yeah,
Not
it's
cotton.
the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
It's like if you filled your pillowcase with cotton, it would be much different if you filled it
Yeah,
with
I'm really
cotton.
glad you're filling in this details. Can we
Yeah,
get back to his
thanks.
story?
and so I had never
try,
taken
Brandon, I try.
Xanax before. Well, I got home from work. I used to deliver bread, so 12 hours. Get home, I would always just rip a couple 30s, and I
A couple of
did that,
wait, what's rip a couple of 30s mean?
30 milligram Percocet.
Percocet. Okay, is
Yeah.
that the same as the MS Contin?
Different.
Okay.
Different. And so anyway, I ended up snorting the Xanax too, and I had never taken. It was only point it was 2 of the 0.25s, which is like the really small ones. And usually, I mean, well, it shouldn't do anything. It shouldn't hurt somebody normally, and because of the mixture, you should never mix.
So you're saying you did what you weren't supposed to do. You mixed
Yes, I
Percocet
mixed-
and
yes.
Xanax and
I
I
Morphine.
ended up, and I woke up 3 days later.
Oh.
In the hospital. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question. Why would you snort Xanax? Just
I
take
never heard of that.
Well, when you're an addict and you start snorting things, you snort everything.
I mean,
so
do you feel like
When
Do you feel
get
like-
used to- what?
do you get the high quicker if you snort it? Because
I don't
it's
know.
like
I don't want to promote it like that.
Well, I'm
That's
not
the thing is
promoting
Greg,
it.
Greg
Well,
wants
I know,
to promote drugs today.
I
That's the
would-
show today.
I would
do.
I would answer any. I just don't. Yeah.
Greg is all
Anyway.
about causing new addictions today. That's what the show's about. Is Greg wants people to get high
Well,
and
I
to
want
stay
everyone
high.
to take LSD. That's what I wanted to talk
Well,
about.
I was just curious.
It doesn't
Billy.
last as long, but it hits you harder, quicker.
Right. The reason I ask is, clinical, not whatever, because at a certain point I was very much into LSD, and there's only some blotter acid you can take. So I used to buy it in the vials and drop it directly into my eye.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe it was a similar kind of thing.
Now, I've heard of people doing that. So what's the benefit of dropping it right in your eye, Brendan?
Hit you
normal-
quicker.
Yeah, normally if you take a hit of blotter acid, it might be 30, 40 minutes to an hour before you really start to feel it.
It has to
Right.
go
Put it
through your
right in
stomach,
your-
Matt.
Yeah,
It has
you
to
put
go
it
through your
right in your
digestive system.
Let him talk, Greg.
Sorry, I was.
He's answering. He's answering the fucking question.
I'm
Shut the
done,
fuck
I'm
up.
done.
Dr. Pettix will explain.
Dr.
It goes directly into your eye, and for whatever reason, somebody told me this, I wouldn't have figured it out on my own. It's like 10 minutes, and you're like full on, because I know you've done that you've done those.
Well, you have
drugs.
certain
It's like-
receptacles.
Yeah, I just
like,
did blotter.
like
I never
underneath your
put it in
tongue.
the eyeballs.
Like
Uh-huh.
underneath your tongue and stuff is the same way as like your eyeball. I mean, there's like parts of where it'll hit you quicker.
So what's your most fun drug story, Billy? Like before
Fun?
you did really bad things to yourself, when it was fun, what was the fun thing that you did? Because that's what Greg wants.
Dude.
I don't. Oh well. I mean,
Before you were like
so
fully
drinking-
addicted.
Well, so drinking. The one time I drank and drove, I was driving down the street and
Was that one time in quotes?
Yeah, that's what I told my
One
kids. It was
time.
the one and only time I ever did it. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pretend like there's a car chasing me. I'm gonna fly down this street. I flew and forgot that it curved at the end and ran straight through the island. And we went out there and measured. I blew my tire, but I couldn't fit my car between.
You
the
should
tree
never
and
do
the
that
light
to a
post.
tire.
If I
That's
did
like
that again,
pornography.
like, I don't know how I fit through that like spot. Anyway, a car shouldn't fit in between.
You're
that.
supposed to be telling a fun story, not a near-death story.
Well, no, that was just like, yeah. I don't know.
That
Did you
doesn't
ever
sound-
have anything positive come from any of the drugs that you took?
That doesn't sound fun at all.
No.
Billy, do you know what fun is? Is it part of your life at all?
Fun, yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
Because you've been doing, there's a lot of sad stuff's happened to you, and you've brought us down quite a bit with many of your stories. So we need to get out of the morass and the hell that is your life, and move on to things that are more your life, which is the fun things.
So I'm gonna
Wow.
take my shirt off again.
You can take
Yeah,
your shirt off.
apparently Matt is just happy when you're shirtless at this point.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd
That's
be
like-
happy if all of you took your shirts off.
That's what I do when I'm uncomfortable. Just take my shirt off.
Uh-oh, here it goes.
No, it's too cold for that.
Yeah, if you guys
Not
want to
in
go
Florida.
viral, let's do it. Everybody take their shirts off.
As
You
they
know,
know,
this-
that will never happen in this screen.
It'd all be a lot better if we all just took our shirts off. You know?
The
Those
shirt
are
ain't
right,
coming
right.
off.
And if we were on LSD
So, Greg, did you ever do LSD?
a few times.
Yeah,
I haven't.
in
Quote,
quotes.
unquote.
Few times.
No, I didn't do it that many times, to be honest. I
If you
did
guys
it.
ever come to Ohio, bring some. I want to try
Well,
it.
I
You
stopped
can't get
doing
it there.
all those types of things in 1990, so that wouldn't be happening on my end.
I haven't done LSD in a long time.
Yeah, it's
But I
it's been
loved
definitely
it.
over 30
And I-
years for me. So
I thought it was
Those
a
types
very.
of drugs, though, are so much
It's a
better
good drug.
when you get older. Yeah, because like I mean, I always liked the drugs that I were able to control myself somewhat. You know, like that's why I don't like to drink. I just get obliterated, you know, and can't do anything.
uh,
LSD, you just like you know, learn things. It's almost like you.
yeah, so on LSD, you definitely learn things like the floor doesn't
Well,
exist.
Mushrooms. I've had some of the best experiences of my life on mushrooms. I mean,
Mushrooms are a totally different deal.
I've had bad
Okay.
GI issues on mushrooms, so I didn't learn much except having to go to the toilet every
You
45
said
minutes.
GI issues. I thought you were talking about the army for a second. There, Greg.
No, I.
Like whenever he
But
does
LSD
mushrooms, suddenly soldiers come to his house and go, "What the hell are you doing?"
But LSD was like, it was. I I definitely learned some shit. And I'm not talking about like, oh,
Yeah.
my shoe talked to me.
Did
It
God
was like,
talk to you,
no,
Greg, when
it
you were in
was
LSD?
really shit that lasted past the trip. Like
I get what
weeks
you mean.
later,
Yes.
I still remembered what I learned.
What did you learn, Greg?
Maybe not to hate myself as much as I did.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Apparently
not
that went away.
as odious. No, I hate myself a lot less than I did when I was 18.
Oh, okay.
If you could imagine.
Yeah.
But it just certain things. It really is an enlightening drug. And of course you can have bad trips. Luckily I never did. So
I never had a bad trip either. I think it just came down
You're
to
lucky.
people's personalities.
There's a show, TV show out, a new show out that she's giving them all LSD. She's making them high.
When you say she and they, who are you talking about?
Okay, so it's
He's using pronouns, Matt.
I know, and I don't know what those are.
I don't know names.
So who is this woman giving LSD to?
Okay.
It's
Hamsters?
Beyonce.
People?
It's Beyonce.
And it's her backup dancers?
It's
And she's giving
RuPaul.
LSD to Katy
Oliver.
Perry's backup dancers as a prank, and it's called
You've been Beyonce'd.
You've been Beyonce. Yeah, it's a whole new thing.
You've been dosed.
Oh shit! You know what? I totally
That's what
forgot.
it is, dose. They say
We were
dose.
supposed to have a sponsor for today. We never got the sponsor because he was wearing a squid hat, and it totally distracted me. So, are you ready to do a sponsor? We need a fake sponsor for today.
We do, because how are we going to fake pay our bills? Our
Yes.
fake bills.
Yes.
All right.
Let's do a sponsor.
Since you asked,
Yes.
where is it here?
I would hate to let your hard work go to waste.
All right, so we're ready?
Yes.
All right. So today our baffling bullshit is brought to you by our sponsor, Holy Shit, I Can't Believe That's Legal. That's right, folks. There are many imposters on the internet, but only one Holy Shit, I Can't Believe That's Legal. Made of only the most suspect ingredients, which will never be disclosed for fear of extradition, Holy Shit, I Can't Believe It's Legal is a full diet and immune booster that comes in a powder and, when mixed with olive oil, looks like baby diarrhea. Tastes otherworldly, like the toxic slime dripping off a xenomorph. Why buy and drink this foul crap, you may ask? Simple. It's currently being hawked everywhere you turn by muscle-bound millennials who, thanks to one fucking viral video, are now influencers. You won't ever eat real food again. Try Holy Shit, I Can't Believe That's Legal today. Ask now and receive your 5G resistant butt plug free with a year's supply of Holy Shit, I Can't Believe That's Legal. Don't let the deep state get deep in your ass. Get your 5G blocking butt plug today when you order. Operators
Is a butt plug
are
sexual or
standing by.
Or is it so you don't shit yourself? What is a butt plug?
All I know is obviously that would have fit more into that whole anal bleaching thing from earlier.
Yeah.
Somehow it brought it all around. I didn't know how.
It did. It tied
I hope
everything together.
I hope the Girl Scouts aren't downstairs.
I hope so too. I hope, and if they are, that they didn't learn something from that either. So, all right. Is there more to discuss regarding our client for today, which is evacuate your mind? We haven't really touched on it much, other than
We could
Greg wanting people to do LSD.
Brendan, tell us your funnest drug story. I'm sure it's going to be good.
Funnest.
Funnest.
Like something caused you at one point to want to start dropping LSD into your eyeballs because you enjoyed it so much.
No, not necessarily. Just when you took drugs, how much fun did you have?
That's what I mean. There
was the
must have been
funnest?
something that caused him to want to do it more, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
Maybe.
it's hard to say. I mean, one of the things about it is that in Seattle in the 80s, you were it was really a heroin scene. There was a lot of people that did heroin, and I just couldn't get into
That's
it.
not fun, is it?
No, it's not fun at all. It's
No.
expensive, and you just look dead. And for $5, blotter acid, you'd be out of your mind tripping balls for like 10 hours. I mean, I was like, this is the best dollar for dollar drug there is.
You paid
So-
$5?
Yeah.
In the 80s, I was paying $3 in Tucson.
Well, how dare you, Greg?
Sorry, you got ripped off.
I mean, cost of living in Seattle is higher than Tucson, probably even in
That's
the
true.
80s.
No,
but-
it was, yeah.
But I don't know. I can't, there were so many different times, and they all sort of bleed together. There was so many different times where, I felt kind of like you were saying, I felt like I understood something that I didn't totally understand before. And it sort of opened my mind to a lot of different things that I probably wouldn't have thought about.
Did it last after the trip was over? Like a week later, you still like retained a little?
I mean, a little, sure. I mean, not, you know, there were definitely like, it was cosmic at the time. And then later I was just sort of like, okay. But yeah, I don't have a particular amazing story. I remember, this isn't an amazing story necessarily, but I remember one story that stands out in my mind is I was in my room and I had those big, you know, 80s, 70s-esque speakers. And I was listening to, I don't know, something, Pink Floyd, Black Sabbath, something. And the speaker morphed kind of into like, kind of like a Daffy Duck sort of character. And I remember sitting there staring at it going, no. And then it started like kind of swaying to the music and sort of like talk. And so, you know, what you do is you get up off your bed and you tackle Daffy Duck.
Of course.
Because he was offending you.
Yeah, so I tackled the speaker, take it to the ground, and in my mind, I've got Daffy Duck. About that point, my bed door opens and my mom is standing there and she's like, what the hell is going on in here? And there was that moment where I came back to like presence and I'm like hugging the speaker and I'm like,
I needed to listen to it really close for the music.
You were like, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry, tackled him. I'm sorry.
Daffy Duck was my friend.
I said, I don't like this song, Mom.
So I had to take out the speaker.
I don't think she believed me, Billy. I think she just sort of slowly closed the door like, nah, I'm not even going to get into this.
Did your parents talk to you about drugs? Did they know that you were fucked up? Like,
no,
I never did.
Yeah, I grew up a single mom. She worked all the time. I was, you know, an 80s latchkey kid. I didn't really have any supervision to speak of.
My dad found a joint in my coat pocket that had been there for weeks that I'd kind of forgotten it was there. And the only reason he found it is because he was going outside and decided to borrow my coat that particular day. And so I'm upstairs in my room. And this is, I think I was in 9th grade or something. And I hear from downstairs, Matthew! And I'm like, oh, I don't know of anything recently that I did wrong. I'm like, so what's going to happen now? And I come down and he's at the kitchen table and he's got the joint and a razor blade, which he has sliced the joint open with. And he goes, you want to tell me what this is? And me, being the moron that I was at the time, went, I don't know.
I don't know.
He's like, do you know what we do with sailors? Because my dad was in the Navy. So, you know what we do with sailors we found with us? I'm like, I don't know. He goes, we put him in the brig. He goes, what do you think I should do to you? And of course I go, I don't know. And he goes, I'll tell you what. He goes, the next time I find you with something like this, we're going to go out into the garage. And you can have the first punch if you want to, but I'm going to beat your ass. And I'm like, okay. And so then I learned to just be more careful with my pot. That was the lesson I learned from that particular beratement from my father.
You know, the other thing you could have learned is I need to figure out how to make the most out of my first shot.
I never even considered fighting my dad. I was never really a fighter of any kind, so that wasn't really something I went through my mind. It was more like, how do I avoid this? I should have learned that next time, just smoke the joint that you have as opposed to leaving it in your coat pocket. That's a better idea.
What a waste.
Yeah, it kind of was. You know, but I was in 9th grade, so how good was it really? So the pot I was buying. Interestingly enough, I began my foray into illegal drugs in Washington State as well. So
you guys still smoke pot?
No, like I said, I stopped all that stuff in 1990. So I had like about 9 years of drug use before I ended it all.
I don't consider smoking marijuana drug use. So
you don't think marijuana is a drug?
I'm prescribed. Well, I mean, yeah, is
as much as booze is.
Well, I think it's as much caffeine. Of a drug as caffeine, or as the pill you take for your high blood pressure. whatever.
If I could get the same effect out of my blood pressure medication that I did from pot, I wouldn't have any resistance to taking it.
Then why don't you take pot anymore?
Just because I lost my short-term memory and I thought I wanted to get it back.
Okay.
You
That's
know,
good.
and also my IQ came up a bit after I stopped doing marijuana too. So I was glad to have that happen.
I'm telling you, if I could stop taking blood pressure medication and do pot, if that had the same, I'd be on the pot.
I'm on a different kind of pot these days, and it usually involves flushing. Anyway, so I want to. All right, Billy. So before we end off, because we're definitely over our normal allotted time, tell us again exactly what you want to promote. Any Spider-Man heads you want to sell? Your YouTube channel, your TikTok channel, your I don't know, water channel between.
Yeah.
hands.
So Billy Skeels, BILLYSKEELS, on YouTube, on TikTok, and I don't really know. I just want to fucking get myself out there and help people. And,
Okay.
Billy, if I could help, just to understand,
Yeah.
what's the main purpose? What's your main message that you want to get out on social media, whether it's TikTok or YouTube or whatever?
Well, I mean, so your guys is the white rapper from last week said all parents are pieces of shit. He said he said I'm a piece of shit, like he's a parent and all this. I don't agree with that. That is my main message, is that all parents don't have to be a piece of shit. And like, even though most of them are, if you intentionally parent, you can totally change lives, and not just your kids' lives, but like other kids' lives. Like, and like my kids come home and always everybody at school is always talking about your TikToks. That's all they do. Well, and it's, some of it's good, some of it's bad, but I tell my boys, they're talking about me. Like, they're not going around talking about his parents. Like, you guys, that should help you, like, use that, like, so yeah, I just, you need a parent with a purpose. And that is, if you do that.
So you came on to be the opposite of Twism White Peace, is what you're saying.
No.
In defense of Twism White Peace, I think he was just saying that facetiously. He was just being.
I think he's just saying that parents have some bad qualities, and that you try to overcome those.
Yeah, he was. He's not a piece for sure, like you said.
He's a good parent, but he's like a piece of shit because he's not rich. He can't send him to college, but he's doing the best he can. He cares about.
I don't think that's what he meant. I think he meant that he's a piece of shit parent, like, because he doesn't talk to his kids, i.e., about drugs, or he doesn't talk to his kids about this, or he's not involved with his kids about, like, that's what he meant, was why he thinks that he would be a piece of shit parent, is because he's not as involved with his kids as he would like to be. I think, what I mean?
I will disagree.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you misinterpreted his message. Yeah.
Yeah, he's with his kids a lot, but he just doesn't have the money to give them everything he wants. He wishes he was richer, so he feels like a piece of shit because he can't, buy him a pony. But he also said that, like, there's rich guys who don't even talk to their kids.
Greg, on the other hand, is a piece of shit parent because he never had kids.
Right.
So he's the worst of all parents by not having kids.
I'm gonna take the middle ground on this and say that Twism has a certain viewpoint about, I'm a piece of shit as a parent, and there's some truth to, all of us don't live up to the standards that we think we should. But I think going to what Billy's saying is that you shouldn't have to, like, I know parents who are so fucked up because they're not as cool in their own mind as their parents were. Now, Twism that's not the case with that guy.
No.
But there are people, right? There are people who judge themselves by their own parents, and that's kind of a bad idea too. So
yeah, because parents are pieces of sterling.
The squid has spoken.
If you have good parents, though, that could be a good guiding light. You know, like my
Right?
dad was amazing.
Yeah.
And if
like-
I ever had a kid, which I never will, I would love to be as good as my dad. You know,
And that's what makes you a piece of shit parent, because you could have been a good one. You could have been a good role model for one, Greg, and you chose not to. You chose to let that light out of the world
I
and let it
wouldn't have
just
been.
die with you.
I
Oh,
wouldn't have been.
God.
I'm not as good as my dad. I'm not as smart and good. So I would have been a shitty parent. But
No,
I would
Greg,
have
you would have been.
tried to.
Hey, it's not that you're not as smart or whatever. I bet your brain just works differently than your dad's, and it has nothing to do with all that other stuff. But you don't think like him because your brains work differently. And
No, but
like,
my
it
dad
took
was
me
a really
long
kind
time.
man.
It took
Even
me
if
a
he wasn't
long time
smart.
to realize that, though.
Yeah.
Like that people don't think the same way. They don't do it.
That's
And-
true. If anybody
and-
watches this episode, they'll definitely figure that out. That none of us think the same way.
And
We
people
all think
think that
differently.
everybody thinks like them.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
Yeah. We're proof that that is not true.
Yeah.
Definitely proof, as evidenced by whenever
Yeah, I
Greg
can't think like a
says
squid.
that I'm drunk when I'm not drinking.
I don't
So-
know. No, I know you're not. I'm saying I'm amazed at the things you come up with because you're sober. Where they're weirder than anything I come up when I'm blacked out drunk. That's what
Hey,
I'm
my
saying.
son wants to
I
say
know
hi.
you're
Do
not
you guys
drinking.
care?
Yeah,
Yes.
bring
Oh,
one of your
yes.
kids on.
There
Let's
you
see
go.
them.
him.
Come here, man. No.
Throw them
Where's
on
one of
to
the
this
houses
not
of
safe
boys?
for work public
Hurry,
broadcast
Okay,
we're
keep it
doing.
clean, guys. Keep it clean.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, you almost have your dad's hair. You're actually better dressed than your father too. You've got like an
No.
ascot,
He
No,
has like
that's his-
skater boy hair.
or it's
That's
a
a-
gator.
That's it.
I think
He's wearing
that's
like a
mask.
gator. It's
Yeah.
a gator thing.
I
Skater.
think so.
Skater boy.
Oh, okay. It's a skater gator. What's your name? Oh, we can't hear him all of a sudden.
Henry Macklin. Henry
Hen-
Macklin.
Henry
He goes by
Macklin.
Mac.
Mac.
Henry, you have really cool hair.
MACK
I wish
like
I
a
could have
Mack
hair
truck.
like you.
Yeah, show him your hair, Greg.
That's a cool haircut.
Greg, quickly show him your hair so he knows what not to do with his hair ever. There it is. That's what happens when you put a lot of brown cotton balls on top of your head.
Don't dye your hair too much, because
Right.
you'll end up like that.
I dyed my hair once in my life, only once. Even
Okay.
though I was a punk rocker my whole life, I only dyed my hair once.
Also, don't listen to people who have squids on their
That's
head.
almost like mine. That's awesome.
Yes, don't listen to squid people either. That's the
No.
other thing.
Henry, how old are you, Henry?
I'm 9, almost 10.
Yeah, if
What-
the
what do you
fish in
wanna
those
be?
aquariums start talking to you, don't listen.
What do you want to be when you grow up, Henry?
Oh, he went silent again.
Wait, what was that, Henry? Say it again.
A baseball player or a football player?
Nice.
Who's
Go
your
with,
both.
favorite baseball player?
go with baseball. It pays better, less brain damage.
Yeah, and less work. You just sit around in the.
What's
is
it called,
The-
Greg? What's
the
it called,
ball
Greg?
pen? The ballpoint?
The dugout.
The ball
Dugout.
point.
That's what I was looking for.
He hangs
Thank
out
you.
in the ball point.
The ball pen, I was going to say.
There's a ballpoint in every dugout, Greg. They use that to write down people's scores.
Yes.
What position do you play in baseball, Henry?
I have like 3 ones I usually play. I play shortstop, pitcher, and catcher.
Greg plays
Well,
short
you're
spot
good.
with his ballpoint.
Okay, Matt, shut up for a second. I'm talking to the kid. What position do you like the best? Which one do you think you're best at?
I think I'm best at shortstop, but I like the most like catcher.
He's the best at hitting. He's a leadoff batter. He's
You leadoff
super
batter?
fast. So he gets on base. I mean, his on base percentage is over 1,000. So
I'm
That's-
curious what your on base percentage is, Billy. But we probably have to take the headphones off the kid to start talking about that.
Yeah, we're not talking about his.
I've
I mean,
only
it's
ever
been-
got to second base. You know, they know
Well,
How did you
that's
have? How did you have
Well,
kids?
That's it. Stop. God.
Welcome
Lasagna,
to our.
man.
This is our show.
Well, there was
I
a
gotta
kid
say,
on
though,
it.
So he's a good baseball player because I know nothing about sports, but I know that when you suck at baseball, you're right field because that's what I was. All
Yeah,
through my
no,
little league.
that's-
I was right field because I was the worst player.
No, all those positions are great, but why not first base, Billy?
So well, he's a righty.
Huh?
And so we try to go lefties at first, but also he's better at other positions. There's certain things you look for in a first baseman. Not only, I mean, you want him a little bit taller, but also a lefty, and he's short and a right-handed,
is he shorter than some of the other boys his age?
Yeah.
3.5 inches tall.
His older brother is like the biggest kid in his grade, and then Mac is on a little bit smaller. So
yeah, I had two boys. My oldest boy is literally a foot taller than me at this point. He's like 6'4", 6'5". And
Actually,
my
has
other
a foot growing out of the top of his head.
and then my other son, I'm just going to ignore Matt at this point. My other son, is much more my size. He'll probably be 5'8", 5'9". But So anyway, but I was a football dad. I wasn't a baseball dad, so I can't say I know.
Welcome to Proud Dadavision here on this podcast.
I really hope my kids are taller than I am, because I'm like 5'7" and 5'8", and I fucking hate it. I mean,
don't hate it.
That's
not bad. That's average, dude. That's like normal white guy,
Yeah.
Normal white guy says 5'8". Anyway, so all right. Well, thank you very much, Billy, for coming on
with a 10-foot
pole. So for your tent. So thank you, Billy, for coming on. I hope it matched all of your hopes and dreams by coming on to the show. The Law Offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker.
And
does anybody have anything else?
Better, Billy.
What was that, Greg?
I hope your luck gets better.
He has been making his own luck recently, Greg. Have you noticed that the last bad thing happened in like 2014 or something? So he's had a really good stretch so far. I think he's doing all right. But anyway, go ahead, Greg. What?
I'm just going to say, I read your history and I was like, you're like Job from the Bible. Like, you went through a lot of shit. So I'm glad you made it through it.
Thank you for that.
And you still believe in Greg.
Well.
Thank you.
All right. So, anything else, Squid? Would you like to add anything, Squidder?
Good luck with your boys. Be a good dad. It pays off in the end. My boys are they're 21 and 24 now. So
don't be a piece of shit.
If you guys, ever want to have me back on, let me know.
Okay,
yeah, for sure.
Outside. What is that clicking noise? It's been going on for a while.
That's somebody has a.
It's not me.
Yeah, he wants to say bye.
Bye. Thanks for coming on.
Bye, Henry.
Bye, Henry.
All right, this has been the Law Offices Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker.
Your consultation with the Law Offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker has ended. You may pay your retainer at www.qsblaw.org. Please exit to the right of the water cooler and grab a candy from the front desk. We hope to see you again soon, but you need to leave now. I said leave. Why don't they ever listen? Get out! Get out!